Hi, welcome to Draw Plans. I'm Tom Norris, and today we're looking at drawing layout plans and elevation plans for a single story rear extension. So the project is in South London, in Norwood, and it's a lovely old Victorian property, but it's seen better days. So we're looking at it here. These are some of the photographs I took when I was on site. As you can see, that's the rear elevation, and it's had a bit of an extension added before, but maybe 30 years ago or so. But it's all falling down. Place has been left, just let go. People, the old people that were there had died, and it's now just full up of rubbish and all sorts of bits and pieces. But as you can see, it's empty, it's completely overgrown, and it's in pretty dire need for some maintenance and some serious goodwill, put it that way. Generally, when we go to any site to do a measured survey, etc., we generally also take loads of photos, and we also take photos of the neighbouring properties because we do get asked for them by the planners. Saves them coming out to see how it looks next door, so they ask us to take the photos instead. But it's also good to compare, and sometimes we need them ourselves because when we're building, we like to know how far the neighbours have come out and what the heights are and so on. So it's kind of important because we won't be able to measure that from their side, but we can get a good idea from our own side. So we're looking at the photographs first. As you can see from the front, it's had front is generally well, it was painted red at one point, and it's all faded and peeled, gone back to nature. So we've got a bay on the ground floor, and we've got these rather unusual windows which are a bit long. They're like casements with a fan light above, so it's an old-fashioned casement window. They're timber, and they're in pretty poor shape as well. Yeah, so everything here on this building is in poor shape. They added on a bit of a porch at the front, and again they just got excited, I suppose, and added on and added on. And they also added on these buildings to the side because they're not part of the original building. They're effectively, that was the passageway down the side that they built over a long time ago. So it really does look quite dreadful. As you can see here, these windows actually go down the whole way to the ground, and they are in fact French doors. They actually open out. So I've never seen that. In 40 years. I've never seen it where we have windows to the front elevation bay that go the whole way to the ground to create French doors. So I don't know how that works, or if they were ever used, but it's an interesting design feature, one I've never seen before. So this is a better look at the entrance. As you can see, it's in pretty poor order. Different people done different things at different times, and this is what you end up with. This is what happens when you don't have a plan, for example. Yeah, so you should always have a plan. Inside doesn't get any better. This is the kitchen. As you can see, it's pretty run down, but there are a few people living there at the moment, and all I can say is wow. But that's how it is. Pretty dark. Some of the rooms, or most of the rooms, don't have electrical lighting, so I don't know how they work that out. Torches or whatever. Other rooms, this is the front lounge, etc., used for storage, but you can see the cables running around here, so you can see how it might have been years ago. You get the idea. French doors leading out to the extension, the old extension. And again, this is down the side of the property. This is the front area. That's the going out into the front garden. This is the front area that was extended all those years ago. They just built over it and closed it in. Front entrance hallway, staircase. You can see from the features, pretty nice in fact. Pretty decent staircase, lovely solid pine doors. Lovely architraves. You know, it's got lots of character, I can tell you that, with the doors, the skirting, the architraves. So let's have a look at the actual layouts. So the ground floor, this is the shantytown style porch that's been added on. All that's coming off at some point, and they've managed to have a door going into this utility area or storage. Goes all the way through, but like I say, all this area was just added on as you know, again, they covered it over, probably went up a floor, and then 10 years later went up another floor. What you've got then is these odd shaped little buildings. So they've turned this into a boiler store. This is the kitchen we've just seen. A bit of a walk through passage, bit of utility. As I say, pretty poor shape. This used to be a toilet downstairs. So this is back in the hallway. This is the main entrance. The staircase we've seen goes up and turns. This takes you into what could have been or must have been a dining room. And this is the big long room we've seen. So as you can see, it's a big old house. And years ago then they extended here. So what we're going to do is get rid of all that. And we're going to add about another 5 meters all the way across. So that's our job. Upstairs we're hardly touching. We're doing a few little bits, but generally speaking, not worth to mention. So now what we do is, that's existing, and now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at proposed. So here we have the same buildings again, and this is the front elevation existing. These are existing plans now on the elevations. It actually looks a lot better in the sketches than it does in the real life. Again, this is the rear elevation, the old extension at the back, and these are the side elevation, which there's nothing much there to show you. Right, so let's move over here and we're going to look at what we've done. So you've seen the layouts, and what we've done is the green area is showing the new extension. So what we've done, let's go in, start at the front. We've left the shanty town porch. It's all going to be redone, but we're going to keep the shape, and it'll be redone smart with good design, etc. So that's the door going in. We've closed off this entrance here, so now it becomes a store and workshop, but you got to come in from the front. It's a bit like having a house with a garage, except you can't park a car, but you can get loads of storage in here, which is quite useful. You know, golf clubs, bikes, that sort of thing. But entrance from the front, which is great. Now here, down here, you got a utility room and boiler, but we'll come at that and have a look from the kitchen end. So back up here, in you go again. Double doors to the porch. Decent whole doorway. Forgive me, I'm yawning, I'm tired. And the old loo was converted. No, the old loo is still there, and we got this bit as storage. So it's a great looking hallway. Again, a fabulous looking staircase once it's been all stripped off and redone. Lovely doors, lovely big doors, pine doors, 4-panel. And what we did was we put this wall back to make a formal front reception. So that's a fabulous big room. That's got a picture rail, it's got some beautiful cornicing and so on. So that's quite lovely. Again, towards the back, rear reception, but I'm going to just have a look in here first. This is the home office study right in the middle. Now the thing about this room, because it's covered all the way around, it's actually in the middle. There's no natural lighting. So what we did was we extended outward by just over 1 meter, so that we could actually get a 1 meter panel in the roof here, because this is single story once you go past these dotted lines. It's just a single story extension. So this is going to have a glass section in the roof, and we did the same here, a glass section in the roof at this point, because this is the back of the house once we strip off the old extension. And we need light for here, because again we're closing off the light that they have at the moment. So this one's fine. It's got those lovely long French doors / windows at the front. But this one, yeah, it's going to have a big glazed panel and some sort of ventilation, probably a section of it that opens. Same here and there. So that's going to be a lovely home office study, rear reception, and we put bifolds on here because if you're working you may want to close off. So maybe those bifolds to be on the inside rather than the outside, but likewise here. Bifolds if you want to close it off, especially in winter time, if you're just relaxing in this reception here or relaxing in a study, or you want to be able to close the place down a bit so you don't have to heat everything. And into the new kitchen area, which looks absolutely fabulous, looks like a football field. So obviously this is going to be a family area looking out onto the garden. We're going to have a superb patio out there. And the client was interested in all the way, 6 meters, 7 meters of doors. But the cost is quite expensive. So one of the things we offered up was a block in the middle. If you put a block in the middle and then 3 1100 mil doors, you can have effectively almost 7 meters of glass here. But a block in the middle will make all the difference from the point of view of supporting and breaking everything up. So it'll work out. It might save about £5,000 to £10,000 just by having the block in the middle. You'll see why when you see that we're doing a vaulted ceiling on this extension. So it's all going to be a vaulted ceiling, vaulted roof. You'll see when I just take you to the elevations in a moment. So in the kitchen you've got your island, you've got your wall units. So we've streamlined it. There's no need to return and have more units. It's a 4-bedroom house, but we don't need more kitchen because we've got a huge utility / laundry / larder. Boiler and hot tank is here, so we've built a big old cupboard to get some folding doors or sliding doors in there. But the utility and larder is here to be able to house all the rubbish that you need for modern living. So there you go, kitchen. Yes, we have someone cooking already. It comes with a housekeeper, but lovely island, three stools, and it's 1200 mil there, so it's extra big. And at least I think it's 1200 mil. Let's see what size that is. Curious. Yeah, 1200 by 2000. So 1200 means you could have back-to-back units, or you could have just one lot of units, kitchen base units, and then loads of leg room. But the 1200 is going to give it that kind of majestic quality feel, a bit of affluence rather than skimping on a 900 unit. The big houses now, we put in large, deep islands, which always emphasize quality, and it's rich, but it looks great. It looks fantastic. So if you got the space, we certainly recommend you do it. Right, let's have a look at the upstairs. Basically the same, unchanged. We haven't touched it. We haven't changed anything. So right, let's have a look at the elevations. Elevations front unchanged because we've left it as it is. Even if we upgrade and replace, which we plan to do, we're not going to change the design as such, just get something that is far better quality than what's there. Now the back, this is where it's all happening. So the back, as I said, we're doing a vaulted roof, vaulted ceiling. So that's a very big extension. It's, in fact, if you look at it over here, it's what have we got? We've got 5 meters deep and 9. So it's around 45, just over 45 square meters being added to the house. So it's going to be a huge house. And what we've done to keep the costs down, we've looked at using block everywhere and white render. These are anthracite grey aluminium bifolds, and we've used 3 doors per section, and again kept the glass going into the apex to create that vaulted look. It's going to look absolutely fantastic because this is the old walls, and the old walls were in fact painted render, and we're going to continue. So the render here matches brilliantly. This was here already, a nice little contemporary piece of glazing into the side of the roof, which is into the side wall, which is great. So all cleaned up and all painted, absolutely fantastic. So on the actual, if we look at the side elevation of the vaulted roof, we can look at it here. It's going to be a zinc roof, and it's unlikely we're going to put any glass into it other than the aforementioned glass, which is the section of glass to actually allow light into the study and into the back lounge. So zinc roof, 500mm overhang. So we always like to do an overhang on the roof. It looks so much better. You can get a few lights in here. It also blocks direct sunlight pouring in. So if the sunlight is, depending on where everything is, if there's loads of sunlight at the back, we can even extend this by a meter or look to put in other elements that would stop the harmful rays coming in, and keeping the house cool. We do want to get some sunshine in, but we want the good stuff in, warm the house up, keep the bad stuff out. But yeah, that's the design. It's going to look absolutely fabulous. So what I've done with the photographs here is to give an idea. This is what we were looking at on the inside, something similar. With the vaulted, I mean, the thing with the vaulted ceilings and the vaulted roof is they look fantastic from the point of view of getting height and space. Just paint everything white, really keep it simple. Looks absolutely gorgeous. So this is to, let the client get an idea of what they're getting here. And where I put the block in the middle and two sets of doors, that's what you're looking at. This is exactly what it's going to look like, other than the fact that the roof or the ceiling is vaulted. It's going to be a lot more spacious, but that's the look. Outside, again, not too dissimilar. Vaulted, zinc, flashing, aluminium maybe, we don't know yet, but those are the little details to be trashed out with the client. And a decent patio, lots of beautiful slabs. So much choice on the market today, we'll be able to do something gorgeous that works and keeps in keeping. Now the glazed sections here, here and here, this is what we also do. This is to give the client an idea that they're going to have glass on this section, because if you extend out 5 meters, then the old space gets dark. So sometimes what we do is we use glass to bridge the roof of the new extension onto the back of the house, so that you get an absolute flow of light in here, a whole meter across, meter wide all the way across. In this case, they had the side done as well, which, with the reclaimed brick and exposed brickwork, look at it, it looks absolutely fantastic. But very simple to do. You just build and then bridge with glass, with glazing. And, we can even get some opening sections going here, but it looks fantastic. Give you an idea of the, we were looking here at worktop, one wall strip, and then a decent island in front. Well, this is what we're looking at. This is like a 1200 island. It's a good representation again of what we're doing. As you can, I like what they've done here. They've filled in above the units, brought it out, boxed it in, and then got the units and got some lovely lighting going. Done a lovely large splashback, and I think we're going to be doing something very close to this. Now, because it's an older couple as well, they've done drawer line all the way across on this kitchen, and we're possibly going to look to do the same. Getting back to the island, you can see they've done the waterfall worktops, the chunky one, which looks absolutely fantastic. What else am I looking at here? They've got that line working beautiful. This line with the light. Come on down, you've got the taps, and then come on out, you've got the hob, the cooking hob, the range or whatever it is, all symmetric, all standard. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that's what we're doing. Here's another one that looks very, very gorgeous. Aluminium waterfall worktop. Love the print, love the lights, you know, got contemporary fittings, glass floor to ceiling, and then you have a period light, which is lovely. Yeah, really does work. Now we've got this one in. I love the sculpture. But this is the open space. So there's two elements in this picture which I brought in because I wanted to show the client, and that is the little vaulted, not vaulted. There's a section here where we have a layered ceiling where we create layers and get some lighting in. So it's not for here, but within the study lounge we were looking at adding that. So it's something they might want to consider. So I thought I'll bring one in. And the second element here that I wanted to show the client was the flooring, because we're doing wood flooring throughout, heated floors, wet heated floors. So I wanted to let the client see. So the photographs I've used is wood throughout. So whether we end up with you know, wide boards, long boards, short boards, parquet, I have no idea what we're going to end up with. But generally, if you know the client is leaning towards wood, then you know when you're using your photographs, try to get some wood in there, so you can the photographs can cover you for maybe 2 or 3 items. Also, I mean, actually, when I was looking, this looks absolutely gorgeous as well. It looks like porcelain. And that is very, very popular choice. And the thing is, you can use it outside as well. So in the if you've got porcelain here and you open up all the doors and you've got porcelain outside, then I mean it's magnificent, because you know, if you don't really know if you're inside or outside half the time, especially in the summer when everything is wide open. Right, what else are we doing? Yeah, getting back to the front. Client was interested in, well, I discussed it with him, and client was interested in double doors, and I suggested maybe a single door with side lights and a good quality composite door, maybe a bit of stained glass. So something that would emphasize this. Now this is I like this one because of the tiling and the bullnose stone here. And of course it's a period house, like this particular property, so this would work very, very well. And if he was looking at double doors, I put those in to give him an indication. Again, because you don't want to be putting nice composite and contemporary doors into a period property. If you can actually get some really good quality doors that will be in keeping with the character of the house, so that's where we're leaning. On the back, I couldn't find any nice photos with a vaulted roof that would show off the rendering in the doors, but basically that's in effect it's anthracite grey doors and then white rendering and a decent bit of patio, but I couldn't find any great photos to emphasize that, but you generally have it. Also, I like to have the overhang, and I like to have, as I say, I like to get some lights into the overhang rather than these things. Yeah, you can keep your bulkhead lights. I'd rather have the lights in the overhang. Patio again. I'm not sure if it's the same property there, but equally the patio isn't my cup of tea at all. And I popped this one in because into the garden. This house has got a huge garden. So there's nothing wrong with doing something like this, you know, where you have a pergola, a canopy, outdoor dining, and you have sections of grass and so on. So that's to give the client ideas, because you've seen the pictures here where it's all overgrown and so on. Well, I mean, I've looked at the location plan on here, and I've looked at the garden, and I didn't really put a photograph in looking down the garden, but the garden's actually huge. If this is the house, then the garden goes on down there and goes at an angle, getting wider and wider. So there's loads of space that you could actually end up putting something like this in. And I mean, who wouldn't want that for a garden? I can't say I might be able to plant the trees, but I can't say those trees are going to look as fantastic as that in my lifetime, because they've obviously been there for a while. But that's about it. Now that was as I say, a pretty naff house, actually a beautiful house, but in pretty dire need of attention. And we're not doing anything major, as in restoration here. It's basically a good clean out, add on a contemporary extension, and tweak the layout a little bit on the ground floor. Upstairs is fine. It'll need stripping, repainting, bit of plastering. But other than that, new bathroom, nothing more. Just internal, some good cosmetic refurbishment, nice bit of carpet, and you got yourself a lovely 4-bedroom house. And I mean, down here would be absolutely beautiful. And incidentally, the front again. We've seen the cars. We've seen one car parked here, but you could actually get about 3 cars here, which again in London, that's a fantastic accomplishment, or a fantastic feature, to have a drive that'll take about 3 cars. Okay, so this is one of our current projects, and hopefully as we get through it over the next 6 months or so, I'll be able to come back to it again and maybe do a video on the finished project and have all the photographs and so on. So instead of these photographs, we'll have the real photographs. So hopefully I'll be able to do that, because it's our project. I think we're project managing it. So yeah, it'll make a lovely video about 6 months from now. Okay, hopefully you learned something from this one. Hopefully it's fires you up, because it's a great profession. Dealing in architecture, designing homes, creating fantastic homes for people to live in, gives me a buzz. After 40 years, I still get a great buzz doing it. So yeah, enjoy. Hopefully, as I say, it'll inspire you and motivate you, and hopefully you've enjoyed watching. So don't forget, any comments, any queries, just ask. If you see something or I've left something out, just ask, leave a comment. I'd be happy to answer. Obviously I want likes and new subscribers, so if you really feel good about it, make sure you hit the like button, or subscribe, because we're going to be doing loads more like this. So if you're a budding young technician or architect in the making, then yeah, I'd suggest you subscribe, because you're definitely going to pick up on some shortcuts here, because you're going to get, there's loads of experience. It's not just me, but yeah, it's a win-win. So yeah, I'd say subscribe. Okay, brilliant. I gotta go. See you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.